Hundreds of pounds of marijuana were seized in raids across metro Atlanta.
New at 7, a drug bust in metro Atlanta. Authorities seizing 500 pounds of marijuana and several guns.
3 men are behind bars tonight after a massive cartel takedown in metro Atlanta.
FBI and DEA have just delivered one of the most powerful crackdown against Mexico's most violent cartel, CJNG drug empire. In a joint pre-dawn strike led by the FBI, DEA, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, tactical teams stormed a fortified cartel safehouse hidden inside Atlanta's Vine City neighborhood, uncovering a fully equipped narco compound stocked with weapons, surveillance gear, and half a ton of drugs.
Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Now, what I will tell you is that Jalisco cartel, headed by El Mencho, is one of the deadliest and most violent cartels in the world.
Inside the stronghold, agents seized over 500 pounds of marijuana, 9 firearms, and an array of high-tech video monitoring systems that linked to remote security feeds across the block. According to federal investigators, the house was the operational hub for CJNG's Atlanta cell, a branch tasked with trafficking marijuana, methamphetamine, cocaine, and fentanyl throughout Georgia and neighboring states. 3 suspects tied to the cartel's U.S. logistics arm were arrested at the scene, while simultaneous raids in Sandy Springs and Woodstock led to multiple additional detentions and evidence seizures. This wasn't just a stash house, said one GBI agent. It was a forward operating base, built for defense, control, and communication. Agents described the Vine City property as a miniature fortress, fortified with steel-plated doors, interior barricades, and 360-degree surveillance systems connected to live monitoring stations. Every entry point was reinforced with steel braces, while windows were blacked out and rigged with external motion alarms. Even the stairwells were wired with cameras to track intruders. It was a house built for war, not living, a federal source said. Investigators found a bunker-style basement used as both a drug packaging area and armory, complete with bulletproof vests, tactical radios, and encrypted phones. The sheer level of fortification stunned even veteran narcotics officers. The home's structure had been deliberately altered to slow down police breaches, double-barred entrances, fake walls, and deadbolt systems designed to buy the occupants time to destroy evidence or escape through secondary exits. Federal analysts called it a cartel stronghold built on American soil. The CJNG, designated by the U.S. State Department as a foreign terrorist organization, has long sought to expand beyond the southwest border into major U.S. cities. Officials say the group operates more like a paramilitary force than a cartel, using military tactics, encrypted communication, and local intermediaries to establish drug corridors and weapons routes. In Georgia, the cartel leveraged local distributors and American straw buyers to move firearms south to Mexico while channeling drugs north. They weren't just trafficking narcotics, one federal analyst explained. They were building infrastructure, warehouses, comms networks, and safe houses, the kind you'd expect in a combat zone. The Atlanta hub, investigators say, served as one of several regional command points responsible for distributing large narcotic shipments and coordinating gun transfers. CJNG's top leadership, operating from Jalisco, directed logistics through encrypted calls, coded texts, and trusted brokers who embedded themselves in local communities. They're not hiding in jungles anymore, a DEA official said. They're hiding in plain sight, and now we're tearing their walls down. Between October 29th and 30th, federal tactical teams executed 5 simultaneous raids across metro Atlanta, the culmination of a months-long surveillance operation under the codename Vine City Strike. The raids targeted CJNG-controlled stash houses, weapon depots, and communication hubs in Vine City, Sandy Springs, Woodstock, and Marietta. According to the FBI, each site was tied to a regional broker who managed bulk narcotics distribution on behalf of the cartel's U.S. leadership. When agents breached the Vine City compound, they discovered 9 firearms, including 2 fully automatic rifles, a sawed-off shotgun, and several silenced handguns, along with hundreds of pounds of prepackaged marijuana stacked in vacuum-sealed bricks. Dozens of cell phones, encrypted SIM cards, and ledgers detailing drug transactions were also seized. Agents confirmed the property's sophisticated counter-surveillance systems were connected to a central router that transmitted live feeds to cartel affiliates outside the state. "Every move we made was being watched in real time," said one federal official. "They were ready for war, but so were we." The CJNG's footprint in the southeastern United States has expanded rapidly over the past 5 years, with Atlanta identified as a major logistics hub for the cartel's U.S. operations. The Drug Enforcement Administration classifies CJNG as the most violent cartel operating on U.S. soil, responsible for torture, kidnappings, assassinations, and paramilitary-style enforcement. Its leader, Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera Cervantes, has built an empire that fuses cartel and military structures, maintaining loyal platoons that function like insurgent units. Analysts estimate the organization now operates in over 30 U.S. states, supported by deep logistical networks and financial laundering systems. Treasury Department officials have sanctioned dozens of CJNG front companies, citing the group as a major source of America's fentanyl epidemic. Federal agents say the Atlanta hub was not only distributing narcotics, but also coordinating firearm shipments back to Mexico, using straw buyers and traffickers to funnel weapons south in exchange for bulk cash and cocaine. CJNG isn't operating like a cartel anymore. It's operating like a shadow army, said one DEA intelligence officer. Following the February 2025 designation of CJNG as a foreign terrorist organization, federal authorities intensified domestic operations against their urban footholds. The Atlanta raids were part of this nationwide escalation, combining intelligence from DEA, FBI, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to identify cartel-linked properties embedded in U.S. communities. According to officials, this was the first known instance of a fortified CJNG stronghold dismantled in Georgia. CJNG's strategy is urban colonization, one FBI official said. They buy cheap houses, reinforce them, and turn them into bunkers. This time, we took one of them down before it could multiply. 3 suspects were taken into custody during the operation, all confirmed members of CJNG's Atlanta logistics cell. They were booked into Cherokee County Jail on racketeering, weapons, and narcotics trafficking charges. Officials said multiple arrest warrants remain active for higher-level members believed to have fled the area in the days leading up to the raids. Digital evidence recovered from the Vine City fortress revealed encrypted messages and financial transfers to bank accounts in Jalisco and Michoacan, confirming direct communication with the cartel's Mexico-based leadership. Federal investigators now believe the Atlanta network operated under a plaza-style hierarchy, mirroring CJNG's Mexican command chain. This wasn't random drug dealing, a senior DEA agent explained. It was a structured franchise. Atlanta was one of their branches, and tonight, that branch is gone. Federal officials called the Vine City strike a textbook example of what happens when local and federal agencies work as one unified front. The takedown involved coordination from the FBI's Atlanta field office, DEA's Southeast Division, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, the Atlanta Police Narcotics Unit, Sandy Springs Police Department, and the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. Tactical units, including ATF's Special Response Team and GBI SWAT, executed simultaneous entry points at dawn, preventing cartel lookouts from triggering alerts or escaping through secondary routes. Federal agents credited the flawless timing between teams for neutralizing what could have become a prolonged armed standoff. CJNG builds their houses for gunfights, one FBI field commander said. But this morning, they didn't even get to open the door. The intelligence groundwork that led to the raids spanned months of intercepted communications, undercover surveillance, and satellite data tracking, revealing a complex network of drop sites, courier routes, and encrypted financial channels. Officials say that collaboration between Georgia's narcotics task forces and federal intelligence analysts allowed investigators to trace CJNG activity from border entry points all the way to local distributors in Metro Atlanta. The public safety impact of the operation, officials emphasized, extends far beyond a single neighborhood raid. The fortified Vine City compound wasn't just a stash house, It was the epicenter of cartel influence spreading across the southern United States. The presence of weapons stockpiles, armored doors, and active surveillance systems within an urban area underscored how deeply entrenched transnational cartels have become in U.S. communities. "If we hadn't taken that house today, it would have been a war zone tomorrow," said one DEA agent on site. Federal and local leaders addressed the media shortly after the takedown, assuring Atlanta residents that the operation eliminated an imminent threat before it could metastasize into open violence. These safe houses aren't random. They're designed to control territory, recruit locals, and spread fear, said DEA Special Agent in Charge David Reams. "We dismantled that control point before it could expand." Authorities confirmed that the cartel had been monitoring law enforcement patterns, testing response times, and recruiting at-risk youth through cash jobs as runners. That recruitment chain, investigators said, is now broken. In a joint statement, the Justice Department declared that the Atlanta strike represents a decisive blow against CJNG's southern expansion. FBI officials said more warrants and follow-up raids are already planned across the region as agents analyze seized data to identify connected distribution cells in neighboring states. "They thought they could build empires on American streets," said one senior FBI official. "Instead, they built their own prison." The Department of Justice reaffirmed that CJNG remains the top operational priority of U.S. anti-cartel enforcement, citing its direct role in the fentanyl crisis and its classification as a terror-level organization. Federal leadership vowed to replicate the success of Vine City's strike in other states where cartel infrastructure is suspected. "This operation sends a message to every cartel operative hiding in our neighborhoods," Attorney General Pamela Bondi said. "The United States is not your territory. We will find your fortresses, we will tear them down, and we will dismantle your network, brick by brick." As agents cleared the last barricaded door in Vine City, the symbolism wasn't lost on anyone involved. A fortified cartel house fell in the heart of Atlanta, and with it, a message was sent across both borders. The fight is far from over, but the tide is turning.